Okay, so here's a quick walkthrough on how to use Claude Code. So first up, Claude Code itself is here. You can go read about it. Basically, it is cursor without an IDE, and you can use it directly within your terminal. You can also connect it to your IDE, which we can get into in a different video. But simply, you will install with this. So copy, go to whatever terminal you use, paste it in, and install. I already have it installed, so I don't need to. I'm currently within a project. So if we look at this, we can see this is an engineering project. There's a front end and back end folder, etc. But once you have Claude installed, you will simply type Claude to get it started. And what this does is it kind of initializes, and you'll have a couple additional setup questions, etc. But this sets it up so that Claude is inside of that folder. And I think when you first run it, it will also kind of build a scan and understand what is going on in the project. If we open up this project, we can look at this code base as well. So I'll pull this up, and there are a couple key things that are in here. So some you'll get for free, some I've built out more specifically for my needs. And so the main file that is kind of driving everything is this claude.md file. So this is what will always be loaded into Claude Code's memory. And this will kind of have context on what the repo is, what's going on, etc. So this is where it knows where the code is, what to do, and best practices, etc. We can do things in here, such as run my application, and then it will also be able to run and execute commands. So this is going to spin it up and start. You could also just come over here and traditionally, just like you would run dev or whatever. I forget what my command is because I just have Claude run all the time. I think I have a script in here, so it's there's some script in here for dev. So probably npm run that. But you can see that it is actually going to kill off something that's already running on those ports, and it's going to spin it up, and then I could go and access it. So that's one thing that it's able to do, kind of just run your applications in the background. You can also then start working on a feature. So you can say create a new branch off of develop and build and do and call it feature. So it can kind of do all of your normal things that you would see within cursor. So more or less the same as cursor. Since I'm using CSH, this will change down here as we branch. You can see it's running this command, which I've already given approval to do so, and so it will go through and do that. Additionally, I also realized I'm on a blocks Claude API, so I can't actually showcase everything that's able to do. But this will kind of go ahead and try that out. What else can it do? It's really more or less anything that you would expect. Also, if you press Shift Tab, you can go from automatically accepting edits to the code into plain mode, which is where I highly recommend you do everything in plain mode first. So if you start describing, please build out a feature for XYZ, come up with a plan. Also think about ABC. It will go kind of map out what that plan is before you end up working with it and saying go execute. There's a lot more that you can do with this as well. Such as you can install MCPs. So I have some set up for Context 7. It's really good for documentation. So it has up-to-date docs as it relates to basically any other tool. So what does Context 7 do? Let's see. You can just ask it. Again, I think Claude is blocked for me, so I don't know if I'll actually get a response. It looks like it's sending tokens, so that's good. So it helps you have up-to-date documentation, code examples for libraries. So if you install a package, it will have documentation as to how to use that package and what it does. So this is how you should ultimately work on coding. Again, you can still have this fired up. You can see the changes. You can say, and you get commit my recent changes. All those kind of things that you can normally do with an LLM. Additionally, if you want kind of a booster pack, I have a pre-built dot-claude folder. So the way in which this works is it creates a dot-claude folder, and inside of it has all these kind of instructions and scripts and settings for how to use Claude. I've built this, which has a bunch of additional things in it by default. So for commands are kind of the tools that I use. I could update these to agents because it has the ability to run agents. But whenever I want to commit code, I can just simply say cmd commit, and it's going to run through this entire prompt basically to do whatever this action is. This is helpful for starting an issue, for installing a new MCP, for updating Claude documentation, etc. I previously talked about this as well, but one of the most powerful things is having feature documentation. And so I spent a fair amount of time on how to do this. But this is a command where I can just say feature document. And I run this whenever I'm done building on a new branch or a new feature, or close to running out of memory. And so what I do with this is I run it, and then what happens, and we can do an example. So build me a new feature for the home page where there's a newsletter section. Make sure you create new branch before doing so. So we'll just have that run real quick, and it's in plan mode. So it's going to come up with a plan for how to do that. And then once it's done, we're going to go and run through this. This works with a script, and that's just for performance. I also have a feature document script, but it knows where that is and how to do it. And what it'll do is it'll go through the entire changed code, and it will figure out what is different, and then it will kind of map out what the original specifications were for building this feature. I'm still thinking, doing this thing. And then once it's done with that, it will write markdown documentation for everything that's changed. We'll see if it needs to update the README, if it needs to update the Claude MD, or anything else that is relevant to the feature that you just built. Additionally, it also understands the difference between when you build a new feature versus when you just update your engineering environment. And so what I mean by that is we come in here and we look at the files that it actually generates. We have a features document. So every new feature gets documented in here. And that's part of the feature document script. It also basically every session gets documented in here. So most recently, we can see this is the write-up for contact page for WhatsApp, and also WhatsApp API integration. And we can see that somewhere in here, some of the most recent sessions were around contacts. I guess there are fixes here. But the last core feature that we built are probably around and documented in full detail as to what they were. And this kind of gives the LLM the ability to go back and look at something that it did before, understand why it did those things, and what happened. This is Claude Code. Now just kind of asking me for some additional clarification questions. I can choose between these answers. I'll just do the default here for simplicity. And now it's going to keep working. I'm going to take it out of plan mode for speed, and just give it auto accept. And then it's going to go and build all of that. So we talked about the specs directory. There's also the features. And then there's also developer experience. So these are things that are changed to the code base that are relevant and should be mentioned. And I'm just going to say, yep, go ahead and start working on this. I accept this plan. And these are helpful because not everything is user facing. And so if it's developer facing, we document and track that within here. It does create artifacts and other things that are not necessarily as useful. But those are kind of the core things that I look to build out when using Claude. And that keeps memory fully up to date and clean so that it knows what it's doing and how it works. If this were done, you see it's kind of going through full step. I would simply do feature document and then the updates to my documentation at the end of the day. The last thing would just be for paying for this. There's Claude Max or something. So the Max plan. There are a couple tiers here, but I highly recommend when you set this up, you will see the pricing. There's the $20 plan, the $100 plan, and there's actually a $200 plan above this if you want. Yeah, choose 5x and 20x. So they're not showing the additional one. You can literally start here. When you come to Claude for the first time, you will log in. And when you log in, it will just kind of connect you. And then you will just use whatever tokens you have at whatever tier you have. So you can literally start with the free one. You can try this one. You can come up here. This will save you a ton of money. This is far cheaper and far more efficient than going through Cursor and overall cost. So let me know the questions getting set up. It can be a little bit complex since you are interacting from a terminal window for the entire session. But at the end of the day, you still are just typing in commands in here. If you need to see kind of the code changes, you can just also open up the code base here, and kind of track your changes and look at what's going on, and then still have your deployment as you would normally. Hopefully that was helpful. Questions.